One of my favorite poets, Walt Whitman, once said, "Re-examine all you have been told in church or school or in any book, and dismiss whatever insults your own soul. And then your very flesh shall be a great poem and have the richest fluency, not only in its words, but in the silent lines of its lips and face and between the lashes of your eyes, and in every motion and joint of your body." This quote encourages us to have the courage not to conform, but to remain authentic to our intellectual and inner life. This is exactly what Thomas, one of the disciples of Jesus, exemplified in the Gospel of John. He refused to hold on to ideas about God, but wanted to see the flesh and bone of God. Thomas's courage teaches us to embrace doubt as a form of faith and have the courage to speak the truth. Now, Thomas is often known as the doubting disciple, but this is a totally unfair characterization. In John 20, we see that Thomas's courage, he had to say things as they ought to be said. He expresses his doubts about Jesus' resurrection, and he refuses to believe in something just because others told him about it. He wants to experience it for himself, to see the flesh and bone of the risen Christ. This is not an act of doubt, but an act of faith. Now, here's how it is. In his book, The Way of the Heart, Thomas Merton says, "Faith means doubt. Faith is not the suppression of doubt, it is the overcoming of doubt. And you overcome doubt by going through it. The person of faith who has never experienced doubt is not a person of faith." You see, doubt is a form of faith, much like courage is a form of fear. Doubt is not the absence of faith, but rather the willingness to ask questions and seek answers. Thomas demonstrates this courage to doubt and to seek truth, and in doing so, he teaches us that doubt is not the opposite of faith, but rather a crucial part of it. So instead of seeing Thomas as this second-class disciple, we should look at him as the father of courageous and authentic faith. Thomas's courage to question and doubt was not only seen here, but in John 14:5, when Jesus tells his disciples that he's going to die, but also to go and prepare a place for them after he dies. Thomas speaks up and he says, "Hey, Lord, we don't even know where you're going. How are we going to know the way?" I love Thomas's willingness to ask questions and seek understanding, even when it may be a little bit uncomfortable. And Jesus never scolded or punished Thomas for his questions, but instead met him where he was and provided what he needed to believe in his own way. So Thomas teaches us the importance of being authentic to our intellectual and inner life, even if it means questioning and doubting the things that we have been taught. You have to own them for them to be lasting. You can't just conform to what was handed to you. You see, your soul is a teacher. It already knows the truth, but a truth that can't be grasped with concepts, ideas, and propositions. Faith is a wordless kind of knowing that we grow in confidence with as we wrestle to integrate our inner and outer worlds together into a cohesive confidence and peace. So if you have doubts, and you're not sure what is true, or have gone through some kind of faith deconstruction or dark night of the soul, you're not some second-class Christian, you're just an honest human being. Thomas inspires us to have the courage to not merely hold on to the things that were handed to us, but to own them through our own wrestling with it. So be patient with yourself as your soul teaches you to find what is true.